should be encouragement to him. You just when you're down, your back's against the wall. I mean, you got to come out. You got to come out and fight. You got to sustain. You got to do all. You got to work harder. You got to work smarter. You got to be tougher, mentally and physically. And it's the only way to do it, in our opinion. And they really set themselves to doing that. And so that's 1 week, and now you go about doing it another week. But I thought it was a excellent job by coaches, by players, special teams. Chris Partridge, amazing job he did. Don Brown and the entire defense and entire defensive coaching staff and players. Great play, great shutout, great calls by Don. Josh Gaddis, all the offensive coaches and offensive players. The precision they had, I mean, they improved and it showed, and put together a really good game plan, and players knew it, and it was coached, it was executed, it was so there was a lot of trust there. There was a lot of trust, players trusting their coaches trusting the players, and a lot of work. And it's good to see it, pay off in a victory that was much needed. Yeah. That as well. It was seeing a lot of good offensive play in practice, and we've seen, that in practice. You want to see it in games, and we have seen it in games at times, and at times not. But I would agree with Shea that it felt more like that, because it's more the way it runs in practice. I thought it was also really good for substitutions. We've been having some substitution errors in the first 3 games, and for Josh to be there as the play's getting formulated, I mean, he can react to the kind of subs that he wants in the game, who he wants running what particular route or play. So that it flowed much better today. It can still be better, the operation and the mechanics of it, but I thought it took a big leap today. Yeah, everybody likes Mike. They like watching him play. He plays hard. He plays tough. I mean, that's a position group that was really challenged during the week. The inside players, the nose, the 3 techniques, and I thought that group really responded well. And also got some pass rush too. So and you saw Mike as well got in there on some rushes, and Kwity Paye was. I went up to him in the second quarter. I don't think they can block you. I really don't. The way you're playing right now, and he had a great game. So did Josh Uche, Cam McGrone. I mean, if he keeps playing like this, he's going to be a star. The way he runs, again, he played really well last week. But his physicality is just, is really every week going higher and higher. So really pleased with him and a lot of other guys. Brad Hawkins, you don't talk about too many guys, that had good games when you lose. Certainly not as much as you do when you win. But Brad really played well last week and played really well again this week. And Aiden Hutchinson again just keeps ascending. Made a huge play on the 4th down, stop out of the pocket. So it was a lot of good play. I mean, we'll probably break it all down once we watch the film, but they're really good on a lot of levels. I thought it was better. I mean, it was just better. Everything was better face to face. Me communicating with him communicating with the players, hearing it from him and not, going from through the box. It was good. Obviously, I mean, that it was a good move. Glad we did it. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that was a great effort by Tyler Cochran. Really, the kickoff coverage group has been one of our best units on the football team, and it was again today. There was a lot of hustle, a lot of flying down there, and they chose to return them. And Tyler Cochran made one of those type of plays where just keep battling and getting in there on the pile and getting that ball out. It was really impressive. So. What more can you say? That was big time. That was a big time play, and it was big time. Part of the game to put our team in a position to really leave no doubt. And then the offense, that was big when the offense converted and scored. Not having to settle for a field goal in that situation and putting it in the end zone, putting an exclamation point on it. That was real good as well. So there's a lot of good to build on.
Late in the third quarter, Shea Patterson scored on quarterback sneak. You and Coach Gaddis were very upset with the referees after that. What happened on that play?
We weren't that upset. I know Josh was upset, but it was one of those things where John Runyon was blocking, and really good. He really blocked well, and the strain and the sustain. I mean, everything that we've been asking that group and challenging them to do was evident on that play. And then after the play was over, there was some stuff going on there between two players, but I didn't think nothing really happened. It was nothing egregious took place. Just we talked about it last week. We just started the conversation and said I was thinking that, he was thinking that, and so let's do it. It's not even that's both of our impressions. Let's go that direction. There was times where it felt like the freshman team was out there, especially we took the receivers out at the end of the third quarter, and Mike Samers still, Giles Jackson, Cornelius Johnson, Eric All, Luke Schoonmaker, that whole group in there, also with redshirt freshman Joe Milton, and so it just okay. There's the freshmen out there now, and let's see what they can do. And they got valuable reps and played well. They've been getting a lot of work. All those people that I just named, but good to see them execute the plays that were called. I mean, you just keep coming along and building. He's growing as a football player very quickly. I mean, he's so fast. I mean, that speed shows up. It shows up when it shows up, and you see it. You see it with Dax Hill. You see it with Cam McGrone. You see it with guys like that, and so he's coming along. He'll be probably playing, but as we go. But yeah, I think you can probably predict he'll get more and more time. But great to see that even the punt coverage, was such a. I mean, that is such a big thing from last week to this. Last week he was a gunner, pretty much in that same similar position, and was hesitant. And all you really had to do was just coach him on it, and that's what we did. And no hesitation today. And you saw him make one of those big time plays as a gunner. So it's not going on a gangplank, on a plank at all, or out of a limb, I guess would be a better analogy. He's going to be really good. He picks up stuff really fast, and he's really good.
How much do you factor in the quality of the opponents in the last 2 weeks in your assessment of this team?
We need to be a hard-working blue-collar team, and if we can play good, we got a good chance to win, and we'll be darn tough to beat. And if not, then we can be beat. Everybody on our schedule is good, and that would be the assessment of it. So it behooves us to go one game at a time, and be building and attacking at the same time. Because we're right in the middle of the season, so we still need to build, but we've got to be able to attack at the same time, and because we play good opponents.
Time for about 2 more, starting right, Nick.
Earlier in the week you talked about, everyone needs to evaluate everything, team effort, team evaluation, and that included yourself. When you evaluated yourself this week, I wonder what things maybe you thought maybe you could adjust or do.
I think just all of us. I mean, we all needed to. Put more into it, more work, more effort. More understanding of putting our players in a position that they could be best successful, and watch more film. Grind it on every single play that we put in, and making sure that our players really understood every single play, every single formation, every single technique, taking nothing for granted. That was the approach. So that there's going to be no doubt that when they went out there that they knew what to do and how to do it, and in a scheme or a play that had a chance to be successful. And there was nothing that was very little left to chance. So give them the fighting chance, and then make sure that the players trusted that and understood that, and we're going to come out and play and hustle and work and earn and take nothing for granted as well, and play good in the games. That was I've seen it in practice. If you see somebody playing good in practice and you see execution in practice, then it should show up in the game. And making that there was a disconnect, and we needed to get that connected from practice to games. I thought we took a good step today.
After what happened last week on the ground, you guys did against their 2 really good running backs today.
Yeah, those are really good running backs, both exceptional, and also I was impressed with Arthur Satowski, the quarterback. That's a tough kid. He stood in there and made some plays and took some shots, but kept coming back. That was impressive.